Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to explain about the inheritance. This inheritance is the OOPS concepts which I started the OOPS concepts. So this is very important for the interview point of view which I said before. And we have some important concepts like inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, abstraction. So these are some important concepts in the OOPS. So in this video I'm going to explain about the inheritance in detail. So let's start what is meant by inheritance. So in general, what is inheritance? So let's see what is inheritance. So this inheritance allows us to define a class. You know what is the class, okay, which I said before only, which is a blueprint of the object that inherits all the methods and properties from the other class. Means what is meaning of like a class which will be inheriting the another class. So the properties or the methods which are there in a particular class will be inherits on the other class. Suppose take an example, we'll be having a two classes. So one is class A and one is class B. So what is meant by inheritance means the class A will be inherits the class B. Means what are the methods and the properties which are included in the class A, we can use the methods and the properties in the class B also by using this inheritance. By using this inheritance, we can use the methods and the properties which are used in the class A in the class B. No need to define again. So directly we can use the method name and the properties in the class B by using the inheritance concept. I think you understood what is inheritance, when to use inheritance. Okay, let's see in detail. So basically inheritance will be working with two or more classes. It cannot work with one class. So to inherit a particular class, it requires two classes because one class is a base class, another class is a derived class. Means what? What is the base class? What is the derived class? Let's understand. So we'll be having the two classes which is meant by the parent class and the child class. What is the parent class? Parent class is nothing but the base class. Okay, we can say the parent class as base class and child class as a derived class. I'll explain you what is a parent class and the child class. Don't worry. So parent class is a class being inherited from, is also known as a base class. Means from this by using the reference. So this parent class is like a base for the child class. I think you understood. So this parent class will be the base for the child class. Means what? So what are the methods and the properties included in this parent class? We can use this properties which are there in this parent class in the child class. Okay, so that the parent class is like a pillar. It's like a base for the other classes. For the other classes, this parent class will be acting as a base. So it is known as the base class. Okay, next, what is a child class? Child class is nothing but is a class that inherits from the other class. So it takes a reference from the other class. Child class is nothing but it will be taking the reference from the other class. Parent class is nothing but it will be acting as a reference. Child class will be taking the reference as one from the other class. So this is known as a derived class. So from the base, it is derived. So in this, we can use the parent class methods and the properties and additional methods also we can include it in this, in the child class. Okay, what are the methods and the properties which are included in the parent class will be there in the child class. But what are the methods and the properties which are there in the child class cannot be in the parent class. I think you understood the difference. Now let's see practically how to create the parent class and how to create the child class. So this is this, and so now let's see how to create the parent class and how to, so it's normal how we'll be using with the class and how we'll be working with the class and objects. Here also we have to work with similarly, but slight difference will be there. Let's see what is the difference, what is the slight difference between the normal class and object creation and the here inheritance classes. So normally what is the syntax for normal creation of the class? Just class keyword we have to keep, then we'll be keeping the class name. So here it is a base class, means which is a parent. So let's take the class name as parent itself so that you can understand more clearly about this. Yeah, so this is the class definition. So now we'll be including the function also in the class. So we can include the function which is a method. So we can include the methods and the functions also in the class now. Yeah. Now we'll use some function which is func is equals to out will say, and we can take self also. I explained you what is about the self parameter. If you are new to my channel, just watch my previous video so that you can understand about the self parameter more clearly. Yeah. Now we have to use the self, and here we'll be keeping some print statement like I am parent. Okay, so that you can understand. Yeah. So oh yeah, I am parent. Yeah. So simple. This is the normal parent creation. So in this way we have to create the parent as no parent class. So this is known as a parent class. Now similarly we have a slight difference between the parent and the child. Similarly with this reference only we can take the child also. I'm taking same. We'll be changing some modifications. We have to do some modifications. What are the modifications? Look at here very carefully. Now, so now for the child class, we'll be taking the child name as child so that you can understand the difference between the child class and the parent class. Yes. Yeah. Take the child. Now, look at here. We'll take here define C. Okay, so that the difference will be there for this two classes. Now here this is the child, no? Yeah, child. Now look at here. So here the difference will be there. So here child, in the child class will be taking the reference from this parent class. So means what are the methods are included in the parent class will be there in the child class also. To include this, normally here this is a normal class creation, but to use the inheritance, to inherit the parent class in the child class, we have to explicitly mention the class name, which is the base class name. What is the base class name? Which is a parent. So we have to specify the base class name here in the child class only, so that this child class will be refers to the inherits to the parent class. So that the what are the methods are included in the parent class, we can use that methods in the child class also. So in this way we can represent the parent class and the child class. So now, so it's the code is not completed yet. So after creating the function we have to call the function, and after creating the class we have to create the object creation also. So these two are mandatory, don't forget. So after creating the class, object creation is must and should. Then after defining the function, we have to call the particular function which we have defined. These two things don't forget. Now, so now we have to first take a creation object. We will be creating some object creation. So now we have two classes, which is parent class and the child class. But for which class we have to create the object? That is also one confusion. So we'll be having the parent class and we'll be having the child class. Yes. But so for the what class, for the which class we have to create the object, particular objects. So first we'll be trying with the parent object creation. So for the parent we'll be trying to create the object. So now let's take the object name as obj. So obj is the object name. Obj equals to what is the this object name equals to the class name. This is syntax for the object creation. Yes or no? So what is the class name? Let's take parent. Okay. So now we are working with object. We are creating the object for the parent class. Okay. Till here you got a clarity. Now here to access the particular methods which are there, we have to use the reference which is the object name. What is the object name over here? Obj. Obj dot what is the here method which is o out. So out is the method. So we have to specify that out. Okay. So this out is there in the parent class. So this out method is there in the parent class. Okay. Now if you want to use the C out also, let's till here let's try to print what will be. Yeah, now the output is coming like I am parent. Okay, this is executing without throwing any type of an error. Okay, it's right. Now if you want to print this C out also, C out statement also, what is the uh, so let's try first. Obj dot C out. Let's now you will be thinking like, okay, we got I am parent, so now we'll be getting I am child, because we call the child class method also. So now let's see what will be the output so that you can understand. Yes, we are getting the error. Why we are getting error? In before condition we got I am parent without throwing any error, but here we are getting error. So what is the error? First understand the error so that you can understand, so where you have done the mistake. So now I am the parent is coming without throwing error. So for this thing, now when we are using this child class method, now we are getting the error. So we are getting the error in the 17th line itself. So 17th line is this, so we are getting error in this line. So what is the error? Let's see. See, attribute error means parent object has no attribute C out. Means they are saying that in the parent class we don't have any C out attribute. We have only out attribute, so that for the out we have given the output as am parent. But in the parent class we don't have C out attribute, they are saying. So now what we have to do? So that, remember very carefully when we are working with the inheritance, so we have to create the object for the only child class. For the child class only we have to create the object creation. So remember here. So this is the main point which you have to remember. So object creation have to be done for the only the child class, not for the parent class. Okay, now let's take the child. Okay, done. Now let's see what will be the output. Yes, now we are getting the error. Okay, I think you guys understood. So for the object creation we have to take only the child class. So when we are working with the inheritance we have to take only the child class object creation. So now we are getting the both child class method and even the parent class method. So first we got the parent class, then we got the child class, which is I am parent, then we got I am child. So means first parent class will be running, then child class will be compiled. I think you got a clarity. So this is the simple exercise for the parent and the child creation. So yeah, and that's it for this video. I think you guys understood about this, how to create the parent class and how to create the child class. And if you have still any doubts, please free to mention in the comment section. I will be definitely solve your doubts. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let's meet in next video.